Hi, this is Jim Ave again, and in this presentation I'm going to discuss the progress reports and the courage and calling assignments. So our progress reports are described in Appendix C of the syllabus, and the reason I have these assignments is to help you stay on track with the professional portfolio assignments. Just to make sure that students are doing the work during the times that they're supposed to be doing it. So what you're going to do is write a 1 to 2 paragraph report describing the activities you did during the weeks you completed your portfolio assignment. So for example, in the first professional progress report, you'll need to report what you did during weeks 1 and 2 to complete the professional portfolio, which is pretty straightforward because you're going to have a bunch of rough drafts. And the second professional portfolio, what did you do those 2 weeks to complete your second professional portfolio? And in the last progress report, because you have 3, what did you do in those preceding 2 weeks to complete that last professional portfolio? You need to be detailed on the activities that you did on the professional portfolio. You're not going to describe to me what you did as an athletic trainer. I've had some students write about that. That's not the point of this assignment. Is what did you do to complete your professional portfolio assignment? As it says here in this sentence, like this could include research and reading about the particular practice standard or code of professional responsibilities, the actual performance of various athletic training skills you use to satisfy the practice standard code, or any other activities you might have done during a week. Now, I think that's where the students get confused when I'm asking about athletic training activities. Okay, what did you do to complete your professional portfolio? That's really what I'm trying to get you to focus on. I also want you to include the goals that you have for the upcoming weeks to complete the professional portfolio. So what goals do you have for weeks 3 and 4 to complete your first professional portfolio? And in the other weeks or other professional progress reports, you have 2 more weeks typically to complete your professional portfolio. What are you going to get done those coming up weeks? All right. So when I'm reading your progress report, what I'm looking at is, can you prove to me that you've spent 3 to 6 hours per week working on your professional portfolio? Because that's what you should be doing each week, is spending about 3 to 6 hours per week working on your portfolio. The other thing you need to do is report the number of hours that you worked as an athletic trainer. So I have each professional portfolio and the number of hours you worked during weeks 1 and 2, weeks 3 through 6, and 7 through 10 for the different ones. All you have to tell me is the number of hours. You don't have to tell me anything else during that time. Okay, you just tell me in week 1 I worked 150,000 hours. In week 2, I worked, another 1,000,000 hours. So, I'm being sarcastic there if you haven't figured that out. So just report the number of hours you worked. I don't need any more details than that. And you're also going to include your courage and calling reflection in your progress report. All right, so let's go ahead and go there. So your courage and calling reflection assignment. So what you're going to do is I have assigned specific chapters for specific assignments that are due. So let's go ahead and look down here. So progress report 1, you're going to read you're going to do a reflection on chapter 1. For your first professional portfolio, you'll have chapters 2 and 3. For progress report 2, you'll have a reflection on chapters 4, 5, and 6. For professional portfolio 2, you have a reflection on chapters 7 and 8. And for progress report 3, you have chapters 9 and 10. Your professional portfolio 3, you have chapters 11 and 12. Then on your reflection paper assignment, you'll reflect on the entire book and Point values for everything is 5 except for your final reflection. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to read that assigned chapter, and then you're going to provide a reflection on what you have learned through that chapter and how you can specifically apply the material as an athletic trainer. So that's what I expect you to do. The reflections, 1 to 2 paragraphs for this. So 1 paragraph on what you learned and 1 paragraph on how you can apply this material as a professional. For your the 5-point versions. Now for your final reflection, you'll you'll review what you've written over the course of the semester, and discuss the impact the text has had on your vocational calling. What were the main takeaways from the text, and how will this impact your life? So your final reflection should be about 1 to 2 pages in length. The one thing I'm adding this year, or to this class, because I'm the only one that's reading this stuff, and there's been some really excellent thoughts from students in the past. So what I'm going to have students do is we're going to have a forum and a threaded discussion about this book. Let me back up 1 second and say the reason why I picked this particular book is because I think Gordon Smith does a really good job in providing the reasons why we should do our job. This is from a biblical background on God has called us to do our job. We have been called to be athletic trainers by God, and we have to have the courage to do that, hence the term courage and calling, to do that thing, and we do it to please God because He has gifted us in a certain way. What we're going to do in the forums is that you're going to post your courage and calling reflection that you already wrote, so you don't have to write anything new for the forum. You're going to copy and paste it into the forum. You're not going to attach it. You're going to post it in the forum message box. And I also want you to provide 1 to 2 open-ended questions about the assigned reading that you want other students to answer. Now, open-ended question is that a question that can't be answered with a yes or no answer. So think about the things that, as you're reading the assigned work, some questions that kind of came to light when you're reading. And so post 1 or 2 questions that you want other students to answer, and then you'll post that on the assigned due date, and then we're going to have a threaded discussion where you'll read 2 other students posted questions and their reflection, and respond back to their question, about a paragraph. We're just trying to have a dialogue here about what we've all learned about this particular text. So the interactions are worth 5 points each for a total of 10 points. So this threaded discussion is worth 5 points per forum threaded discussion. The reflections are 5 points each, and 20 points for the final reflection paper. And then the progress reports are worth a total of 15 points, 10 points for the progress reports and 5 points for the courage and calling. Make sure that you turn in your progress reports as a Microsoft Word. Make sure you provide a title page and follow APA for your assignment. Again, if you have any questions about any of these assignments, please post them in the Q&A forum, and hopefully I'll help you through the process. Lastly, I should have said this earlier, but the progress reports, don't turn them too early, since you're supposed to be reporting your hours that you're going to work. don't turn them in till at least Friday, usually on Saturday, depending on your work schedule, or on Sunday. But since you are reporting your number of hours worked and you can't turn it in on a Tuesday, and you still got to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe Sunday, you have to report your number of hours worked. Okay.